Right now, there is like this video promo going around about Will Smith's like upcoming concerts, and they're using AI footage for the fans in the audience. Not all of the fans and not all of the audience, but there are definite moments in this like concert footage promo shoot where it's like clearly AI. There's like faces that are blurred. It's like very unsettling. And so I'm wondering how everybody is feeling about this, because we talk about intuition all the time here on my channel, and this just hits straight into that like trigger of intuition where you're kind of put off by something, right? It kind of like repels you because you think this is not real, and it's presented in a light that makes you think it's real. So I have a couple thoughts. People are coming down really hard on Will Smith, and I wonder, now, I think it's very possible that Will Smith didn't even know that this is what was happening with the concert footage, because he's a megastar and he's doing a million things, and I'm sure he has a million people doing different jobs for him that he probably didn't even know that this like promo that was being put out about his concerts was being spliced in with this fake footage. He probably just saw it and thought, that looks really great. Cool, thanks. Moving on to the next thing on my to-do list. But it does make you wonder where Will Smith lies with his intuition, because intuitively, did he notice that the footage looked off? Like if he was not aware that it was being done, could he tell? And it feels like his career lately, there's been some almost missteps that if he was feeling intuitively into, he might have been able to avoid, because he has been such like a darling of Hollywood for so long, and so many people have just loved him and his work. I loved watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air all the time. But when you are that big, right? When you are such a international celebrity like he is, does it become more difficult to hear your inner voice? Like, does it become harder to keep in touch with your intuition? There are a lot of celebrities that seem to do it beautifully, but I think that they have to work really hard to keep that grounded mentality. Do you think that Will is able to feel into his intuition anymore? Or do you think there's just so much noise around him that he's not even really sure which way to go? This is a really good reminder for you and me that we have to be conscious of how things feel. Like I always say, if it checks all the boxes and you've listed the pros and cons, just because something might look good on paper doesn't necessarily means it's right for you. It might be right for you, but you do have to take that final step of breathing and pausing and feeling into a situation and seeing if it really aligns with you intuitively. And I don't know that Will Smith has been doing that, because maybe he's just so busy that it's easy to forget to do. But this is weird because with AI, there are just so many things about the fact that it's artificial that kind of triggers our intuition. There are a lot of really positive ways to use AI and for productivity purposes, but we can't allow it to replace the human condition. Because when we lean into AI to replace things that are human, it's going to feel off intuitively. And I love that so many people noticed with this footage just how off it felt to them, because that shows your intuition is kicked into gear. Also, if you are just really familiar with using AI, you obviously and have worked with AI, it probably was a no-brainer from a logical standpoint too. But if you're like me and you don't really always know when something is AI, a good way to feel into that is to notice if intuitively it kind of repels you, right? It feels artificial intelligence. So that makes sense. But I do hope that Will is able to kind of come full circle. And, if he knew that this was happening, that does say a lot about mentally where he's at and how fragile the celebrity persona can be. But I would not lose sight of the fact that it's very possible he didn't even know that they were doing this to his footage. But whoever is responsible for doing it, it was a terrible PR move. And they grossly underestimated our ability to sense when something is not right. Do you think that Will Smith knew that his concert footage was being cut in with AI footage? Or do you think this was something that was happening outside of his scope of expertise and he just signed off and had no idea? I'd love for you to let me know in the comments below.